Did you write something or no? Did you write this or no?
Yes.
You wrote?
Yes.
Show her what you have written. Did she write something?
Yes.
Is that a criticism of that?
No.
No. Is it true it's not a criticism of that?
That's right, yes.
So you were lying?
Yes.
Okay. I know you. I know when you lie. You see? That's probably having us. No problem. Yes. But again, let me tell you the funny thing. See, you have to figure out, for example, if somebody has written, and he asks him, did he write something or no? Because there's a problem. Because writing is what I wrote or I didn't write. So that's why you have to be very much there's no thinking. I said there are moments to think, moments not to think. Say, how much 2 plus 2? There's something wrong, right? Did you write? No. Okay. So, did you write something?
Yeah.
See? Yes, right? Go ahead. Did you write the criticism of this? No. So, we'll talk about it later. Okay. Your type of criticism.
Yes, I will.
Read it.
You shouldn't respect your neighbor when he's throwing his garbage on your backyard.
Oh, where do you live? Anyway, go ahead.
I criticized it once.
No, just read what you've written.
Okay. It is extrinsic and obligatory.
What? Read it again.
It is extrinsic. Extrinsic, yeah. From outside.
Just
Okay.
what you've written.
It is extrinsic and obligatory.
Okay. Who understands that? Raise your hand. Who does not? Raise your hand. Okay. You cross it out. Two elitists. You only speak to Einstein and the man on top of the Himalaya. So no, we don't take it. It's okay, Mike. No problem. Mike, it's fine.
I'm okay with it.
That's fine.
I'm okay with it.
We don't take it. I tell you what, we're going to take a rule each time. We only take a statement if at least half the people understand it. All right? Just as a little rule. So there's no deal. So yours is not taken. Read yours.
No one should have to do anything.
Okay. Who takes that? Who understands that? Raise your hand. Okay, majority. Take it. The next.
I'm never at home, so I don't need to respect my neighbor.
Okay. Who understands that? Raise your hand. Take it.
Morten, yeah. You cannot respect someone a priori, because respect is something you have to earn.
Who understands? Okay. Next.
Your neighbor is not the one to respect.
Who understands? Okay.
You shouldn't respect your neighbor if your neighbor asks you to disrespect him. If your neighbor asks you to...
Oh, disrespect you. Okay, no problem. Who understands that? Raise your hand. Who does not understand? Okay, majority takes it. So, yes.
I should respect my neighbor only if he respects me.
Who understands that? Raise your hand. Jenna. Who thinks this is a criticism of that? Raise your hand. Who thinks it's not? Raise your hand. Refused. Did you follow?
Yes.
Do you know why they refused it?
Because it's too general.
Who refused it for that reason? Raise your hand. Who refused it for another reason? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up. And ask somebody, why did you refuse it?
Floris, why did you refuse it?
Because you are trying to make an exception or a but from it.
She made an exception. Do you agree?
Yes.
If she made an exception to that rule, is it a criticism of that rule or no? It's generally an interesting problem.
It is a criticism, yes.
So you change your mind?
Yeah.
Okay, tell Tell her I changed my mind.
I've changed my mind.
Who still thinks she didn't do the job? Raise your hand. And ask one of them, why do you say I didn't do the job?
Sitting, why did you say that I didn't do the job?
Because I think you didn't do a criticism on that.
Why?
What did she do? What did she do? Read her again. Read her.
I should respect my neighbor only if he respects me.
She did the opposite.
What did she do? What is that opposite?
She said why you should respect your neighbor.
She said why you should respect your neighbor.
Yeah.
Did you say why you should respect your neighbor?
Why?
Do you understand my question or no?
Yes. If I said why?
Do you understand my question or no?
Oh, no.
What do you mean probably? What, is it statistics or is it probably? Did you understand my question or no?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? How is it possible not to know if you understand or don't understand?
I don't remember.
Oh, because you don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it again. Say again, what did she do?
She gave. She didn't say why you.
I don't know what she didn't do. What did she do?
She said you should respect your neighbor if. No, I don't know.
Tell her again.
I should respect my neighbor only if he respects me.
Yes.
What did she do?
She said she gave a reason.
Is God speaking to you or something? Yeah. He gave what?
She gave a reason for.
She gave a reason for that.
Yes.
Did you give a reason for this? Or no? No. Can you prove that to her this is not the case?
I gave a condition.
Can you speak louder?
I gave a condition to respect this rule.
So, is a condition in favor of that or against it?
Again.
Explain why it's against.
It's against because I have only the duty of respect the other if the other respects me.
Therefore, why is that a criticism? Just finish your demonstration. Why is it a criticism of that?
Because this statement, I prove that is not absolute.
That it's not absolute.
Absolute.
Yes? Did she tell you this is not absolute with what she says? Or no?
Yes.
So you change your mind?
No.
Well, in her mouth, is that an absolute?
Yes.
So did she prove it's not an absolute or no?
Yes, she proved it.
If she proved it's not an absolute, is it an absolute for her?
No.
No. So did she criticize it therefore?
No.
Who think our friend is coherent here? Raise your hand. Who think she's not coherent? Raise your hand. Do you know why they say that?
Yes.
Why do they say it?
Because they all think that this is an absolute.
They all think this is an absolute, yes?
Yeah.
So the criticism they gave is to prove it's an absolute. Are you okay or you're lost?
I'm a little lost.
A little or
I'm lost.
completely? Huh?
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yes, but a little. Why do you put a little? You know?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Okay, so read again your sentence and we'll decide if it's criticism or not. Say it again.
I should respect my neighbor only if he respects me.
Who takes this as a criticism of that sentence? Raise your hand. 1, 3, 5. Who thinks it's not? Raise your hand. Wait a minute, who's sleeping? Raise your hand. Read it again. See, we have to know, we have to decide if she's, for that sentence, she's criticizing that sentence, okay? Read that sentence here.
You should respect your neighbor.
Read yours.
I should respect my neighbor only if he respects me.
Who thinks she gave a criticism of that? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who thinks she did not? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's refused by the group, yes? You surprised?
I'm surprised with
No.
the raise of his hand because it's
It's only him you're interested in, not the others.
not the other.
Thank you for the others.
Not him because
I don't know what he has we don't have, but that's him. Are you happy? You're the star. So, are you surprised that the group refused your idea?
a little.
A little?
Yeah.
Or you belong to the same club, the little club? Yes. Now, are you surprised enough?
Yes.
Yes. How do you explain that?
Because to me it's obvious that if exists one condition, even if there is only one condition that relativize the statement,
Yeah.
there is criticism.
Okay. And do you meet this? Things is obvious for you, but not for the others? Have you met this situation before?
Yeah.
With your students too? What's obvious for you is not obvious for them? Or no, generally what's obvious for you is obvious for them too? Or do you have perfect students like our friend Hoedekie?
No.
So is it sometimes you speak, something is obvious to you but not to them?
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes this happens. So how do you explain the fact that it's not obvious to them? You know? You don't know.
Maybe if like Sigrid,
What was the problem with Sigrid, you think? Why did it was not obvious to her, you think?
it's obvious to
Oh, but did she vote in favor of you?
No.
No, so, wait a minute, look, how beautiful it is. You think it's obvious for her, but she votes against you, so why is that?
No, I don't want to say that.
No, I'm not asking you the question. Did you say it was obvious for her?
I was referred.
Hey. If you don't want to answer my question, say, Oscar, I don't want to answer, but again, I don't want to chase you, see? Do you want to answer my question?
Yes.
Was it obvious for her?
For Sigrid.
No, for Sigrid. Was it obvious for her, yes or no?
Who is her?
Take a rest. Okay, let's move on. Let's now, a Portuguese problem. What's going on with our friend here? Who knows? What's going on with her?
Digging the hole.
She what?
Yeah, she's stubborn in her, fixed in her position.
She's fixed in her position. True or false?
False.
No, you're...
Completely false.
Oh. Can I give you a secret? Can I tell you a secret? You know what a thumb rule is?
What then?
A thumb rule. You know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it?
A finger.
Did you understand my question?
No.
No. But did you say you understood? Did you say,
I thought I understood.
did you say you knew?
No, I don't understand. I
Did
really
you
don't.
say that you knew?
Yes.
And did you know?
I'm a liar too.
So, do you prove that maybe Mom is right now?
Now it's false.
It's false, but in the way you just behave now, do you rather prove her right or false?
Maybe I prove it's false.
No, not maybe. Do you think, we watch you, have you rather proved her right or wrong by the way you answer me? She says, she's fixing her position. Do you rather prove her right or rather prove her wrong in the way you function the last 3 minutes? I'm not asking what it is, what you have shown. See, now you speak about your conviction. I'm asking you not to be yourself anymore. You hear, you watch yourself, and do you rather, in the way you answer, show her right or show her wrong?
Wrong.
Okay. Who thinks she has shown Yvonne wrong? Raise your hand. Who thinks she has shown Yvonne right? Raise your hand. Okay, but look around. You don't even look at them. See,
I don't mind.
that's so funny. When you will do this, you look at me. You want to look at nobody else. You see, and you tell me I don't mind. The point is not minding. The point is, do you want to see them? I say, do you want? Do you want to marry me? Ask me if I want to marry you. Ask me. Do you want to marry me? Ask me.
Do you want to marry me?
I don't mind. You see the problem? You see the problem now?
Yes.
Yes? No. You see, and let me tell you what's funny about this. I think you're right in saying it's criticism. But the way you handle it is why people don't see it. Because you want to just stay in yourself. And you don't want to take charge of the other people. Yeah, I am right, I am right, I am right, I am right. And you can be right on your own, on top of the Himalaya. If you say you want to shove people away, you'll be right. You'll be wrong because you're right. And that's the problem. And that's what I know it's for Portuguese, like for French, it's a very strange thing. The others, I don't care. I think what I think and, let it go to hell. But the problem, especially for the teacher or in others, truth has something collective to it. I mean, it's always revealing when I say, I ask people what you think, and the person doesn't want to look at them. Yes? Says, I don't care about that. Yeah? The point is that, of course, in other way, where people defend their thesis, it works. But here, our job, it says, no. If something is true, I have to make it true. Does that mean something to you, to make it true? Or no? Yes? Like with students, to make it true. Otherwise, you speak to yourself. Yeah? You see the problem? Or no? Yeah? And are you familiar with this problem? Yes. Yeah? Okay, so anyway, but the group refused it. So and that's for me interesting because I think you were correct. It is a criticism. But what I'm interested in is the way how you handle this. That's not because of course, if you give a condition, it's not an absolute anymore. But that's only one way to look at it. But what's interesting is how you handle it. That's what I'm interested in. Because that tells me more about you than your statement. To see how do you, and when I question somebody, I'm not so concerned about what he says, but how does he handle what he says? Because his idea, maybe he read it this morning, maybe he heard it on the radio. I don't know where he gets his idea from, but how does he handle it? That's the issue. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, anyway. But anyway, the group refused it, so let's move on. So, read yours.
Why should we respect people? I didn't hear.
No, don't add anything, just read what you have written.
Why should we respect people?
Okay. Who understands that? Raise your hand. Put your hand down. Who thinks that's a criticism? Raise your hand. Okay, refuse. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Yvonne.
You don't need to respect your neighbor because you can be civil to your neighbor without respect.
Okay? Read it again.
You can be civil to your neighbor. Civilized.
No, please don't add. Okay, he did so.
Without respect.
Polite.
Not polite, civilized.
Okay. You wrote civil, yeah? Okay, let's not add civil. Let's have it. Okay. So, read it again now so we get clear.
You don't need to respect your neighbor because you can be civil to your neighbor without respect.
For whom this makes sense, raise your hand. 3, 4, 5, 6. For whom it doesn't make sense, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Refuse. You surprised?
Yes, I
Yes.
surprised.
Okay. People was trans. I agree.
Brilliant.
Next, Erwin. Okay, please, people that were refused, just cross it out. Because after we'll listen to all the ones that were accepted, so you have it in your mind. Don't worry. But now we're going case by case, see what we think, what we don't think. Yes.
I can give examples of behavior that most people do not consider worth of respect.
Can you read again?
I can give examples of behavior that most people do not consider worth of respect.
Who understands that? Raise your hand. You ready? 5, 5, 5, 5. Who does not understand? Raise your hand. Well, we're missing some people. We have to decide if this makes sense or not. Now, if you don't know, I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? So just, okay, read it again.
I can give examples of behavior that most people do not consider worth of respect.
Who understands that? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. Stop. Don't move. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who does not understand? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, understood. Who think that's a criticism? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who think it's not? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Refused. Okay. Surprised?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Okay. You're in the right place. We're here to be surprised by the others. Strange people surrounding us. Yes. Okay. So.
Respect without friendship is a pause.
Pause?
Read it again.
Respect without friendship is a pause.
Okay. Can you say it in Dutch?
Is a pose.
Can somebody who speaks Dutch now, please? Dutch speaking, please. Dutch speaking people.
A pose, like you mean for an artist?
No, yes.
Artificial.
Yes, it is.
A posture.
Is there an input?
Okay. So put posture and read it again. Yes. Go ahead.
Respect without friendship is a posture.
Okay. Who understands that? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, majority does. Who thinks that's criticism? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who thinks it's not? Raise your hand. Okay, again. Keep your hand up. Ask one of them, why do you think it's not a criticism?
I forgot your name again. Why it is not a criticism? For me, it's not a criticism because there are new concepts in it, like friendship and posture.
But when you criticize something, are you supposed to bring in concepts to criticize the initial idea or no?
Yes.
So, does she have the right to bring in concepts?
Yes, she has the right to do
So what's wrong? Why do you say it's not criticism then?
criticism when I listened in...
No. Why do you say it's not a criticism? If you maintain that. You maintain it's not a criticism of the idea?
No.
No, you give up?
Yes.
So it's a criticism?
It's criticism.
Okay, tell her no, I made it.
I
You
made
were
a mistake.
right, I was wrong.
You are right, I was wrong.
Alright, you happy?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, who else thinks it's not a criticism and wants to prove it? Raise your hand. Ask somebody else. Why do you say it's not a criticism?
Why it is not a criticism?
Because it tells something about respect and not about the relation between respect and the neighbor.
So, to criticize this, should you only criticize the relationship between respect and neighbor, or can you just criticize the concept of respect?
You can also only criticize the concept of respect.
So, did she do this?
Yes?
So, is it criticism?
Yes.
So you change your mind too?
No other option.
No other option. I don't know. Did you change your mind?
Yes.
Okay, tell her I changed my mind. You're right.
I've changed my mind, you're right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody think this is not a criticism? Okay, who thinks this is criticism? Raise your hand. Who think it's not, raise your hand. Well, some people are sleeping here. Read it again.
Respect without friendship is a posture.
Who think that is a criticism, raise your hand. Who think that is not, raise your hand. What's your problem? No, your neighbor. She's beating drums, but what's going on?
I have a question.
No. Oh, your problem is you have a question.
Yes.
But you see, when there's a question, there's a problem before the question.
So I have a problem.
What is your problem?
I don't see the relationship between friendship and the neighborhood.
So, do you understand her? Or that has nothing to do with her?
I think I don't understand her.
You don't understand her?
I don't.
Okay, I tell you, you don't understand her? Right, yes?
I don't understand her.
Say what is it that is not understandable in what she said. Say it.
I don't understand the relationship between two words, two concepts.
Which two words?
Friendship and neighborhood.
Neighborhood.
Yes.
You see neighborhood here?
I see there, yes.
What is it?
Neighbor, yes.
Okay, so do it again.
I don't understand the relationship between neighbor and friend.
Okay.
Friendship.
Yeah, that's your terrible thing.
Yes.
You ready? Okay. Can you make a sentence with friendship and neighbor?
My neighbor is my friend.
Do you understand the relationship now?
Yes.
Okay, miracle.
It's not necessary.
No, wait. Do you understand now the connection? Okay, problem solved?
Yes.
You feel strange? See, not only human beings have a capacity to make their life miserable, but they have immense capacity to make their life complicated. Did you know this?
Yes.
You know that experience of making your life complicated?
Yes.
Yes, nothing new. Okay. Also, do you understand her? Read her your sentence again.
Without friendship is a posture.
You understand it? Okay. Is it a criticism of that or no?
Yes.
Who thinks a criticism of this? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1. Okay. Don't move, because we were 1, 2, 3. Chad is always late, of course. 3. Time to come from Australia. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Who think it's not a criticism? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so accept it. Next.
At your own house, you have the right to do what you want to do.
Okay. Who understands that? Raise your hand. We'll take it. Who think that's a criticism? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Who think it's not a criticism? 1, 2, 3. Just try. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. Ask one of those. Why do you think it's not a criticism?
Morton, why is not a criticism?
Well, you put at your own house, you have the right to do anything, but when you're not in your own house, what then?
Okay.
So I don't understand this, because your neighbor is your neighbor even if you're not in your own house.
That's true. Then, who wants to defend the critical dimension of his sentence to answer Morton? Who wants to do it? Who wants to be his lawyer? Raise your hand. Anybody? Okay, so choose your lawyer, say, defend my idea. Keep your hand up, the potential lawyers.
Okay, be my lawyer.
Yes, Martin has a narrow interpretation of my own house. He's reducing the scope.
Can you prove that? He is that Morton is a reductionist? He'll take it, don't worry. Yeah? He's
yes,
tough Norwegian. Yeah.
Yeah, he assumed that
Go ahead,
Mark.
Yeah, he assumed that Mark mean my own house, mean a physical building. He may not have meant that.
See, no, you cannot say he made something.
So,
If you
okay, sorry.
see, structuring is very important. If I think somebody's a reductionist, I have to say, there is, we're talking about a house, for example, and this man reduces the house to the kitchen. See?
Yes.
See, every time, that's why I like so much, I call accusation. Who accusation? No, accusation is nice because you say, this man has stolen. Okay, how does he have stolen? Something did not belong to him and he took it. I understand. See, accusation is a nice concept and you have to show. Reduction is, so and you have to be clear on what the concept. To be reduction means, he has taken something which is this, and he has made it that. He took part of it, for example, okay? Or some way. So if it's reduction, you say, we had this, and he made that out of it. Can you do this?
Martin has made.
Do you know what is it he reduced? What is it?
The scoop.
Yeah, no, but what we're talking about? What is it? What is the object he talked about that he reduced? You forgot.
No. In my own house.
Okay, in my own house. So you have to give two interpretations in my own house. His interpretation and his interpretation, and we have to see that his is more reduced. Okay? Go ahead. What does it mean in my own house for him? What does it mean?
Should I ask him?
No, you should know. You choose more than the reduction. Or you're lost. You don't know how to do this.
His own house include. I'm lost.
Okay. Who understands Jean-François' idea and wants to help him? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up. And Jean-François, choose somebody that didn't speak much, look around, and ask him to be your lawyer. Ask her to be your lawyer.
Be my lawyer.
Okay. Do you understand why it says reductionist? You don't have to agree with it, but you understand. Yes? Go ahead.
Jean-François thinks that his concept of house is inclusive of neighbor.
But can you speak a bit louder?
Oh, it includes the neighbor. That his house actually includes the notion of the neighbor.
Includes the notion of the neighbor. And how about Morton?
What did Morton say? I'm sorry.
If you don't know, then you cannot be. Imagine a lawyer say, I don't know what my client is saying. You know, okay.
And then Morton said that reduce the notion of his house to just his house.
But what is a house where the neighbor are included in there? How does that work?
No, but I agree. You're understanding.
No, yeah, I'm not if you agree. I'm trying to understand your defense. What kind of a house is it where the neighbor are included in there?
It's
a big house.
Well, notion of community.
A notion of community. So you think he was referring to a notion of community?
I think.
No, is that what you're saying?
I think John's.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
No. So, see, we need two clear concepts that make sense. One large one, one small one, but they have to make sense. We don't understand. Do you have those two concepts clear or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's start again.
Okay. But you asked me to explain his notion.
Yes, because that's his.
Right.
Well, or do you have a different idea than him about why it's reductionist?
No.
No. So it's his idea what it's reductionist? So, can you finish his job?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, can you finish his job or no? See, if you want to go on something else, then let's not talk about it. But can you finish what he wants to do? Or no?
Yes.
Okay. So show us the reductionism of your own house. Go ahead.
Okay. Mark sees his notion of house as broader to include. As broader to include a sort of neighborhood. So his claim.
So there's a neighborhood in the house.
Yes, his sense of neighborhood extends beyond the limits of his home. Or the notion of house is not a reductionist notion of home. So when he says, I can do anything I want in my house, I think he's relating it to that concept as I can do anything I want in my house, just as anyone can do anything in the neighborhood.
Just like?
Just like anyone can, just like all my neighbors can do what they want in their house too.
Oh, so the neighbors in their own house, not in his. Where are the neighbors, in his house or in their own house?
Well, this concept of neighbors.
No, please.
It's not physical neighbors.
No, I'm not asking if the physical, the Martians, what they are. I'm asking in your system, are his neighbor in his house or in their own house?
They're in their own house.
All right, so there's no community anymore. Each one in this house, right?
Physically.
No, I'm asking. Please don't add concept, which is see people they add concept and they want to make are in his idea the neighbors in their own house or in his house. Or you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So who else wants to finish the idea? Raise your hand and choose your next lawyer.
Yes, please help me. Defend me.
In my house, I have my wife and children and maid. They are members of my house. I can choose not to respect any of them. And here lies the criticism.
Okay. But was Morton reductionist?
In that case, he did, because he reduced my house to only me as a member of that house, excluding my wife and children and every other member.
So that's his reductionist.
Yeah.
He forgot the wife, the children, and the maid.
That they are part and parcel of my own family.
Because in Norway, maids are too expensive, that's why. Is that what you view as reductionism or not? Or that was not it? Was he the lawyer of your thinking or no?
Yes, he was.
So that was the point.
That's the point.
That Morton forgot the maid, the wife, and the children. Was that it or no?
Yes.
Yes. Why not? All right. So, sometimes it's hard to follow. Do you recognize yourself in this business or no?
No.
Who has another analysis? Who else wants to defend, by the way, our friend to Morton's accusation?
Please remind me.
Okay. Read your sentence again.
At your own house, you have the right to do what you want to do.
Morton, you maintain the accusation. It's not a criticism of that?
Yes, I maintain.
Give again your accusation.
Because in your house, I conceive of as in private, contrary to in public. So.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
For you, the house is in private.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
And for him, the house is in private or not?
For him?
Yes.
I believe.
No, we're not in church. You believe nothing. For you, do you think that for him, the house is private or not?
Yes.
So just like you.
Yes.
So, then therefore there's no difference so far. So far there's no difference. You think the same.
Yes.
So where does the difference start?
The difference start, or why I don't think this is a criticism.
Yes.
Yes. It's that this original statement is very general. And you say that in private you can do what you want, but what about in public?
Well, wait a minute. In private, if he does what he wants in private,
yeah.
Is he criticizing this or no?
Yes.
So therefore he can give a criticism.
Yes.
So you change your mind.
Yes.
Okay, tell him I changed my mind.
I changed my mind.
Okay, no problem. Who thinks he did not produce a criticism? Raise your hand. Ask somebody else. Why do you say did not produce a criticism?
Jenny, can you tell me why you didn't produce the criticism?
I don't see in your statement any reference to what this sentence means in terms of respect your neighbor.
But Jeannie, can you speak loud? You have to speak loud.
I don't see anything in your statement that refers to why we should not respect our neighbors. It's just a statement about your situation.
Okay. Read again your statement.
At your own house, you have the right to do what you want to do.
Jeannie says, I don't see in there a criticism. Who sees a criticism in there? I can tell Jeannie where you see it. And Jeannie asks one of them, where do you see the criticism in his sentence?
I don't see it.
No, I know you don't see it, but blind people don't see. They ask people that see to help them, you know? So ask somebody, where do you see it?
Nelson, where don't you see?
Where do you see?
Where do you see
the criticism?
The criticism in his statement?
When you're allowed to do what you want, this also includes being respectful or unrespectful.
Can you repeat what you just said?
When you're allowed to do what you want, it includes whether you're respectful or unrespectful.
True or false?
False.
False. What happens when you do what you want? What do you have to be?
Just do what you want.
Yes, so can you be either respectful or disrespectful?
I don't think respect has
When you do what you want, do you have to be, can you be either respectful or disrespectful?
You can be one or the other.
So easy, right? When you do what you want.
Yes.
See, the whole difficulty of this is accept to get out of one scheme and enter somebody else's scheme and see. Okay, he tells you, when you do what you want, you can either be respectful or disrespectful. True or false?
True.
What do you mean true? Is it true or false?
True.
True, yes? Yes, no?
Yes.
Alright, so if you can be either respectful or disrespectful, do you go along with that or no?
No.
So if you do what you want, do you go along with that or no?
No.
So therefore, is it a criticism of that or no?
Yes.
So did he give a criticism or no?
No.
Who thinks Jeannie is coherent? Raise your hand. Who thinks she's not? Raise your hand. You have a credibility problem right now?
No.
No. Who thinks Jeannie has no credibility problem? Raise your hand. Who thinks she has one? Raise your hand. Collective reasoning is horrible. I agree with you. Anyway, so let's end debate and decide. Reading a sentence.
At your own house, you have the right to do what you want to do.
Who think that is not a criticism? Raise your hand. Two. Who think it is a criticism? Raise your hand. No, we take it. Next.
I will respect my neighbor.
Oh, by the way, you have written a criticism finally.
When they are not abusive.
Okay. Again, read it again.
I will respect my neighbor when they are not abusive. I will respect my neighbors when they are not abusive.
When they're not abusive, yes. Any problem with the words? By the way, if people have problem with words, sometimes just say it, so it's not there's no language problem. Okay. No problem. So, who understands that? Raise your hand. Okay, put your hand down. Who thinks that's a criticism? Raise your hand. Oh. Okay. So there was a miracle, huh? You found a criticism finally. Yes? How come? What happened? How come you found a criticism finally?
You mean how?
Wait, there was a miracle, right? First you had no criticism at all, now you have one. How come?
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yes, the Holy Spirit giving the La Chapelle, Saint-André. So, okay, George.
Respect is earned, not imposed.
Who said that's a criticism? Raise your hand. Okay, all right. So, Jeannie.
If my neighbor does something that...
But Jeannie, you have to speak loud.
Okay.
We're here.
If I find my neighbor does something that is not worth my respect, I won't respect him.
Okay. Who accept that as a criticism, raise your hand. Janet?
Are there no universal moral principle?
Again?
There are no universal moral principles.
Do we accept that as criticism? Raise your hands.
If it's not geniusly felt, then there is no point.
Say it again?
If it is not geniusly, is that English?
Genuinely.
Genuinely felt, then there is no point.
If it's not genuinely felt, then there is no point. Okay? Who understands that? Raise your hand. Who does not understand? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up. Ask one of them, what is it you don't understand in that statement?
Yes. Please, what is it that you don't understand in that statement?
I do not understand your statement, the genuinely felt.
Do you understand those words?
The English part?
Do you understand those words?
Genuinely, no.
No. But did I ask if somebody had a problem with words?
You asked it.
Did you say you had a problem with words?
I say no.
Do you think grammar is a useful thing?
Yes, it's a useful thing.
Okay. Did you say present or past?
Present.
Okay. Who think our friend speaks English? Raise your hand. Did you say present or past?
Past.
Ah, okay. All right. You're reassured. Otherwise, you could not stay here because you don't speak English, you know. So it's past, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the word you don't understand? Genuinely.
Yes.
Who can has a word for that in Dutch, please? To the people who are in a rush. Who can say genuinely in Dutch? Ask somebody, please translate.
Caroline, can you please translate?
Did she raise her hand?
No.
No. Do you have a hard time listening?
No.
No. Did I ask? Who raised the hand? Okay. Who knows how to translate in Dutch? Please raise your hand. Look. And that's somebody raising the hand.
Yvonne? Oprecht.
Okay. Who accept that translation? Raise your hand. You speak Dutch? Cheater. Just helping a friend. God, can't track the word. No, people that are capable of it. Who accepts the translation? Raise your hand. 2. You raised? Yeah. Who does not accept the translation? Raise your hand. And ask why you don't accept the translation.
Edwin, why don't you accept the translation?
Well, I'm not sure.
Stop. Wait. Can the fact of not being sure, is it an argument or not? I don't agree with you because I'm not sure. Is that an argument or not? Suppose you have Einstein coming, tell you about relativity theory. And he says, I don't agree with you. And he asks you, why you don't agree with me? And he said, because I'm not sure. Does that make sense or no? No. But I would like, because that's, I'm saying this because these are the classics, right? People, they want to object to you and say, okay, what's your objection? I am not sure. Then I say, well, go see the psychologist, but I have nothing to do with it if you're unsure, you know? To say an objection, you say, it is wrong because, right? But it's a very common thing, especially among intellectuals. Oh, I'm not sure that what you're saying is true. Oh, maybe. So, do you have something to prove? Or, by the way, if you like doubt, we have to distinguish general doubt or psychological doubt and methodological doubt. It's a very common mistake. In Descartes, it's methodological doubt. I doubt because blah, blah, blah. In other words, if you want to doubt Yvonne, this doubt has to be deserved. If you say, I doubt because blah, blah, blah. So do you have a reason to doubt Yvonne's translations? Yes. Okay, then give a reason to show you, I think you're wrong because. Go ahead.
Because I didn't see it in the dictionary. Normally I look at the dictionary.
So here, unless you have a dictionary, you don't take it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that means in this room, did you see any dictionaries?
No.
So in this room, we will accept no translation at all because there's no dictionary. Is that your argument or no?
No.
Is this your argument or no?
No.
No. Is your argument the fact we need a dictionary or no?
My argument is...
You're supposed to answer my question. Is it the fact we have to have a dictionary or no? That's not your argument.
That's not the argument.
So what is your argument?
I don't believe...
Stop.
I'm not convinced.
Okay, the church is over there. Here's the community hall. The church and everything. Okay. See, we want to have not believe, not doubt, all these feelings, but one reason that would lead you to conclude that Yvonne is wrong. Even a hypothetical reason, but the reason.
I'm not sure.
No, okay. Erwin, do you see the problem of the argument that you're not sure? How do we know that Erwin, by definition in his existence, just like our friend is unsatisfied, Erwin is not sure? In fact, if we ask your friends, Erwin, is he rather a sure person or a not sure person? What would they say? But that's a terrible question to ask.
No. I don't know.
You don't know. So if you don't know, are you sure or not sure? Somebody who doesn't know if he's sure or not sure, is he rather sure or not sure?
Not sure.
All right. So you're telling us about who you are, but we don't know who you are. We want to know Yvonne's idea. Do you have a proof that it is wrong? Or no?
I don't have a proof. No.
Then tell Yvonne, I have no proof you're wrong. She'll be so happy.
I have no proof that you are wrong.
Okay.
I will accept the translation of the truth.
I will look for some dictionary.
No, don't worry about it. See, every time, what's interesting is to find how we discuss, right? That's the whole point. You think all these different situations. How do we discuss, right? And again, that's very much a classical, because suppose somebody says, I'm not sure. But that person, by definition, is an unsecure person. What can I do? I can say blah, blah, blah. I can't do anything. It's like if somebody is unsatisfied. At a certain point, that's what I told my friend. I can't do anything for you. Because I have the impression there is unsatisfaction. And I can act, right? So each time, what is it that stops the discussion? Does that make sense, everyone? Mm-hmm. Yes? But we have habits. We don't realize it, you know? Okay. So, anyway. So you have a translation?
I have a translation.
Do you not understand his statement?
I understand the statement.
Okay. Reading it, because I forgot reading your statement. What's your criticism of that?
If it's not sincerely felt.
Oh, there's a new
word. You cannot cheat. Anyway, go ahead.
If it's not genuinely felt, then there is no point.
There is no point. Who still does not understand? Raise your hand. Okay, so who thinks that's a criticism of that? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who think it's not? Raise your hand. Okay. Ask why is it not a criticism?
Please tell me why it's not a criticism.
Because we're not talking about the results of the respect.
We're not talking about the results, yes?
Yes.
Is he speaking about the results?
He said there is no...
See, my questions are not just to engage in conversation. You know, the real question that I do this to show what kind of question asked, to get an answer, and it's supposed to help clarify. Do you agree with that? You want to answer the question? Did you notice how often I ask questions, people, if they act like if I did not ask anything? You notice? You do this too?
Yes.
Why? You know it hurts my feelings? Why? Is my feeling a laughing matter?
Yes.
Why? Why are my feelings laughing matter?
Because they're not an object for us.
Oh, you don't care about my feelings?
You don't care about ours.
Oh, so it's revenge. Okay, no. No. What was your argument? Mine. He has no dessert.
Okay. I don't care.
It was ice cream. What's your argument against him again?
My argument was that said that I said that he was talking about results.
Okay. Is he speaking about results?
Yes.
Okay. Read it again.
If it is not genuinely felt, then there is no point.
What's the result in all this? Which part of the sentence has to do with result?
When it says there's no point.
No point. For you, no point. It's interesting. It has to do with result. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Who agrees that the concept no point is a result matter? Raise your hand. Count the hands. You're supposed to look around. You're supposed to be interested. How many?
One.
Okay. Who thinks that the concept no point has nothing to do with the result? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up and ask somebody, why does no point have nothing to do with the result?
George, why having no point has nothing to do with results?
No point could apply to subjective reasons.
And you want to know what it could. Give your best bet about the essence of no point. It has no. See, that's the moment where the cutout. What is the key issue in no point? If it's not resolved, give her another concept. What is it to do with?
No point does not mean no.
No, we don't want to know what it does not. See, again, what does it have to do with? If it's not resolved, what is it? What's the concept? Well, just one word.
I don't have it.
All right. So you're not clear about what no point is all about.
I'm sorry. I'm clear.
You're clear, but you have no concept.
I don't have a word concept.
Okay. Now, George,
yes.
Does that make sense to you? Say that I'm clear, but I have no concept. Does that make sense to you? I want to know. Say, I am clear, but I have no concept. Does that make sense or no?
Yes.
For whom it makes sense? Raise your hand. Count the hands.
No.
No. Well, you can raise yours. For whom it makes no sense, raise your hand. Keep your hand up and ask one of them why it makes no sense for you. Try to find someone who didn't speak much.
Yes. Yes. Because to be clear about something is to have a concept about the something.
Yes, but see, by saying that, are you giving a proof, or are you just stating the opposite of what he stated?
I state the...
No, listen to what.
Yeah.
By saying this, are you just stating the opposite of what he stated, or did you give a proof? For example, somebody said, ice cream is good. I said, who can prove this is wrong? And somebody says, ice cream is bad.
Yeah.
Did he just state the opposite, or did he give a proof?
He states the opposite.
Okay. You, what did you say?
I said that to be clear is to have a concept.
Good. Are you stating the opposite or giving a proof?
I'm giving a proof.
Okay. Who think Morton gave a proof? Raise your hand. Count the hands. No. Are you surprised?
Yes.
Yes, of course. And by the way, did you notice how often somebody says something and most people say, I don't see it. Morton, you think he gave a proof, but nobody sees the proof. And again, for people who think when it happens to them, that's your particular, you're not. And it's so common because we don't even realize it. We speak a lot to ourselves. It's a very common disease. And don't forget. But in general, we pretend we like nothing's happening, right? You know? And for most people, you know, indeed, Morton repeats. So, you repeat. He says, you can be clear without the concept. And you say, to be clear, you need a concept, right? Is there a proof in that?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have a proof that to be clear, you need a concept?
No.
No. So you just have an act of faith, but no proof.
Yeah.
Okay. Who? Bonjour. Ah oui, vous êtes du journal, c'est ça, hein? Voilà, c'est ça. We have the local press among us, so beware what we just say. Vous parlez anglais ou non? Pardon? Vous parlez anglais ou non?
Non.
Ah non.
sais pas de quoi il s'agit en plus.
C'est c'est comme l'année dernière, on avait fait, rappeler, c'est le colloque de philosophie.
Ah oui.
Yeah. It's coming, but it doesn't know what it's all about. So. Il y a des gens qui viennent de beaucoup de pays pour faire un colloque sur la philosophie. Et là, on est en train de le faire. Tu peux le voir 2 minutes, Isabelle?
D'accord.
Vous expliquer ça.
Je vous téléphonerai parce que je venais à Chapelle pour une
une
réunion de maire. Je me suis trompé de ça.
C'est pas grave. J'allais vous envoyer un petit truc. Voilà. Allez, il va prendre une photo. Ah, okay. We'll be immortalized, what? Oh, yes, okay. 1 minute, and we have the official picture in the local press, and then we. Okay. So you'll be immortalized in the 3 villages of Rome. Yes. Okay. So you can just tell your friends. So let's see what we're. Yes. So who has a proof? And we'll try to finish with this thing that you need a concept to have clear thinking. Who try to prove that? Anybody? Or it's too abstract? No one. You can do this? Go ahead.
A proof that to be clear you need a concept. For me was a situation like yesterday, for example, with the question of infinity. To be clear, there were concepts at the end. There were concepts like sacrifice, there were concepts like innocence, there were the inner being, and there were other concepts. So at the end, for me, that situation is an example of concepts needed to be clear in your thinking.
Do you understand that, George?
I understand.
Does that make sense?
No.
No. Tell her it makes no sense.
No, that's not what I want to say.
Does it make sense what she's saying?
No.
No, tell her it makes no sense.
That's not what I want to say.
I know you have your agenda, George. You're a living agenda. There's no problem. But I'm asking you, if it makes no sense, I want you to tell her. Does it make sense what you're saying?
It doesn't make sense.
Okay, good. Huh? But we make things clear. Yes, it makes no sense. That makes no sense. For whom it makes no sense what she's saying? So raise your hand, George. Okay. For whom it makes sense what she's saying, raise your hand. Okay. All right. Huh? And just to finish on that one thing, for example, for Hegel or in many other things, to name.